All right, so I get this in my Instagram DMs almost every day. Do I recommend airline stocks? Would I invest in airline stocks? So I'm going to answer that today. The short answer is no. I would not recommend these stocks. Um, so let's just jump in here. So obviously the airlines are not doing well. We'll look at a chart here in a second, but um, with the nature of the virus going on, obviously travel hasn't been happening, but let's take it a step further than that. Pretty much every time the economy is struggling, whether it's a crash due to financials or a crash due to a sickness, airlines always struggle and they always have to get bailed out by the government to just make it. And part of the reason for that is because they have billions of dollars of assets that they have to pay for. Airlines really don't make that much per passenger. Part of the reason is because they want to keep the rate lower to compete with the other airlines, but they just don't make that much money because it's such an expensive business with extreme overhead. So as soon as things aren't good, they pretty much are going into the wrong direction. It doesn't take much. So that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is they tend to make really bad financial decisions, like doing share buybacks when they shouldn't be, that kind of thing. So, right now, obviously things are still unfolding. So if we look at this price return performance, it's just tanked. I haven't done a whole lot of research on these, and I'm not going to because I have no inclination to buy into it, but they're not doing well, and this is still unfolding. So to put your hard-earned money into something like this is questionable. Now, my strategy is to obviously buy and hold companies that I think are going to continue to do well. So if I know a industry is going to crash every 10 or so years, why would I buy into that? It just doesn't make sense to me. And that's even if they survive. Who knows? I mean, Tesla's next thing could be, or Elon Musk's next thing could be to create better air travel. And if somebody like that jumps on, then these other airlines are going to have a problem. But obviously, that's just me speculating. But for my approach, it doesn't make any sense to invest in airlines. Some of them even pay dividends, but it doesn't make sense to me for my strategy to do that. Now, I'm not saying that you won't make money or do well on them, but for my 2 cents, that's just the route I'm going. So I'm staying away from airlines. I'm staying away from cruise lines. I pretty much just wrap them together. Now, if you are a trader, which I am not, or maybe even a day trader, these guys might not be a bad bet. And the reason for that is, like I said, the government is going to continue to make sure we have air travel. Like, that's a necessity for Americans and the world. So they'll probably get more and more help as everything progresses. Again, I haven't done a whole lot of research. I don't know how much help they've already gotten, but we're not just going to let all the airlines go down. That just wouldn't be good for the American economy. So let's look at the charting here and think or swim. If we look at the 3-year, so basically before the crash, they're averaging around $55, let's say, for a share price. And now we're down to under 30. So that's a huge drop off. I don't think any of my holdings that I have dropped off that much. So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say that it's just way too much of a swing every time these crashes happen. But anyways, looking at this chart here, it may start to look like there's upwards potential, and there's a ton of volume here. That's what the blue bars are. So people are buying and trading the stock because they think it's going to go up, but nobody really knows, obviously. So let's look at 5-day, 5-minute chart. So today it looks like it's at around 33 right now. I think we're in after hours. So in regards to trading, I think if I was going to make a bet on this, I wouldn't put a ton of money into it, but I would probably buy right now and then just hold it for a couple of weeks and then sell. Like, it's either that kind of a play for a short-term game, or you buy a decent amount now and then just wait a couple of years until they completely recover, and then do your sell. But I wouldn't recommend holding airlines long term. It's not part of any strategy that I would recommend. So hopefully that answers all those questions regarding airlines. Again, might be a good thing to swing trade or hold for a shorter term, but I just can't recommend it as a long term. And obviously that's my opinion, but that's just based on what I'm seeing and also what my strategy is. I want to keep this baby going up and up, not see a huge drop off every time something happens in the world. So that's it for this video. Any questions, let me know. Again, I like to do most of my speculating in the Discord, so I'm not going to make too many videos like this, but if it's a pretty popular demand like this one was, then I obviously will. But yeah, let's just leave it at that. So thanks for watching. Any questions, you guys can always let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one.